I'd like to introduce a young lady in planning and development. She's our summer intern, Ms. Heather Bryan. I want to thank you for being here. She is, what college you're going to?
University of North Georgia.
Okay. And you're trying to major in?
I'm getting my master's degree in public administration.
All right. Okay. Well, thank you for being with us. I don't think Jerry, Mr. Barnes, and Ms. Denny has met you yet, but thank you for coming and glad to have you here. And we've got another young man sitting back there in the back.
This is Carter Lindsay.
That's Carter
He's in
Lindsay. Well.
eighth grade. He's hanging out with me this evening until soccer practice.
Oh, okay.
Is that the judge's order?
It is.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's right now 5:30. I'm going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. And if you will, let's stand for a moment of prayer. Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, Lord, be with us as we go through this meeting tonight. Be with us as we go through quite a few meetings as we proceed forward with the work that we have trying to accomplish here for Pickens County. Lord, as we go through these times that, Lord, elections are running rampant throughout the nation and throughout our state, we pray and hope, Lord, that your judgment will prevail and that cool heads will prevail and that you will do what is right for our nation. Guide and direct us to the path you would have us to do. In your heavenly sweet name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
And while we're standing, let's go ahead and pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right. Mr. Deborah, that brings us, do we have any amendments to the agenda on item 3?
No, sir.
All right. Then that brings us down to the approval of the agenda. I need a move and a second to approve the agenda. Go ahead.
Second.
Have a move and a second. Any further discussion? None being, all that in favor, know by saying aye.
Aye.
None opposed, thank you. All right, and this is the first time in quite a while that Miss Denny is not going to do any employee recognition because we have no one that for this particular month. So we get that.
There's no employees?
Pardon?
There's no employees this month?
No, everything. We can make one for Bart here, and I can just fold up with All right, that takes care of the employee recognition. That brings us down to item number 6 under the finance report. I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Harvey. If we can read the Jim, can you flip the lights to the? Flip the other one on now. Give us one bulb. There you go.
Okay.
What in the world?
Hopefully y'all can see that. I don't know what's wrong with the projector. I turned it off or on, but it's never today. Okay, the April financial report, April 30th, is 4 months of our fiscal year, and the expenditure budget should be 33.3 or less. We'll start with the revenue. The total revenue collected through April is $4,169,129. That's 17.5%. And I looked at last year, and we're slightly above our collections at the end of April last year, but it's on target to do fine. We'll go to general government. The total expenditures for general government are $996,393. Overall, that's 31.58%. There is one function. The general government buildings is over budget, and we are doing a lot of repairs, especially on the building across the way for that the DFAX is planning to rent. So that's why that budget or that line is over budget quite a bit. The revenue, whenever we do rent the facility, we do not budget any revenue for it, so that will be a budget amendment, and maybe we can offset some of the expenses to this budget with some of that revenue. We'll go down to the judicial budgets. The total expenditures are $997,749, and that's 29.41%. And all of those are within the allotted percentage for this time of the year. Public safety, the total expenditures are $3,795,934. Overall, that's 31.23%. The sheriff's budgets are slightly over at 34.4%. Some of that is operational in the detention center. They have exceeded like overtime and supplies budgets. I will talk to Jeff about that one so that can get back on track. And the EMA budget, of course, it's a small budget anyway, but that code red amount, which is almost half their budget, is paid in January, so that skews that budget for the entire year. Okay, next we're going to go to Next, we're going to go to the public works budgets. And the total public works expenditures are $845,772. That's 30.24%. For health and welfare, their total expenditures are $219,926, and that's 27.83%. For culture and recreation, they spent $295,445, and that's 31.8%. For the housing and development, the expenditures are $194,761, and that's 32.07%. And the only function in that category that is over is the economic development, and that's because we pay their contribution 1 month in advance. So they've already been paid for May. Overall, total budget, the expenditures are at $7,345,981, and that's 30.83%. For the enterprise funds, the water department, their expenditures are $384,617, and that's 18.61%. For the airport, they are at $83,767, and that's 22.31% of their budget. And line item reports went to all the elected officials and department heads on May 13th. And that's it. Do you have any questions or anything?
Everything looks good. Thank you very much, Ms. Becky. All right, that's going to bring us down to item number 7 on the consent agenda. A, part of the consent agenda, we signed an application for the hazard mitigation plan update. This plan is here, and we have signed it off. If anybody's got any questions on it, we'll be glad to run you a copy of it, but it's an updated plan for hazard mitigation. All right. Brings us down to item number 8 under old business. Do we have any old business, Ms. Deborah?
No. None.
All right. Then that brings us down under item number 9 under new business. At this time, we have an item here for probate court budget amendment request. Faye, you want to speak to that, or?
Actually, I think David was going to explain that to you guys.
David, please.
Happy to do that. What we're requesting in that budget amendment is an amount of money to contract a public defender to work in our traffic court. We were required to provide a public defender. I'll give you a little bit of history so to tell you how we got to this point. For years, or for most years leading up to probably 2013, the public defender's office handled the public defender duties in probate traffic court. Due to a restructuring of a contract, or I'm not sure exactly how that worked out, but the circuit public defender, Mike Parham, basically said they weren't required to handle probate court anymore, and that they didn't have time to handle probate court anymore. So they were stopped providing the public defender attorney for our court. At that time, a position was created, and Jennifer Galligan was hired into that position, and that position was to work public defender for probate court and a conflict attorney for juvenile court. I know this sounds like a lot of stuff y'all probably don't need to know, but it leads up to where we're at. that position resulted in a lot of conflicts, time conflicts between probate court and juvenile court, resulting in she was unable to attend probably more than half of our courts because she was in juvenile court, and it took precedent. As we know, she passed away. Since she passed away, since that time, I've just had some local folks that were able to fill in sporadically when they had time to serve as the public defender. And it's pretty difficult to get somebody to do that because we don't really pay them. It's just a very nominal amount. It's not looking like, or Jennifer's position has not been filled, and it may not be filled. I'm not sure where that stands. I don't know if there's a need for it anymore. But even if it was filled, I think there still exist those conflicts between probate court and juvenile court. So it seems like the best solution for us is to contract with a local attorney to serve as our public defender. There should be some money from, I don't know where that money came from specifically, but there should be some money from where Galligan's salary was originally being paid. And I think we could get away with doing it for probably a flat fee of $1,000 a month. I sort of did a little bit of math, and based on the average time in court and out of court that person would have to spend, that would roughly equal, if it was one person, it would be basically paying them about $50 an hour. I think I've got two people who are willing to do it, so I mean ultimately we would be paying them $25 an hour, which is a pretty good bargain for a public defender in any court. So that's what I'm asking, is $1,000 per month to independently contract with a local attorney to serve as the public defender in traffic court.
Hey, would that come out of David's budget, or that's going to come out of public defender's budget, or does it come out of are we setting up a new budget item altogether?
No, it would be in a new budget line in David's budget. That's
I
why
think it could probably fit under professional services, which is already a line item, but there's not enough in there right now.
But Jennifer Gallagher's salary, I believe, came out of the juvenile court budget. So that, I'm not sure if we need to adjust that budget. Phil, is her position going to be filled?
Her position is controlled by, there's a committee that hires that position, the board of commissioners, and they would make a recommendation to the board of commissioners, but it's a committee composed of 3 attorneys. And I talked with one of the committee members last week, and they had had some discussion on themselves, but nothing of any certainty or any clarity to that question.
But David, when would you need it, like beginning June, 7 months?
As soon as possible. And I
$7,000.
say all that to say that the result of all those things happening is we are left with a pretty significant backlog in cases where the defendants are represented by the public defender. And we really need to get, we can't do anything until somebody represents them. And having just people show up, different people show up, it's just not, it's not working. They have to become familiar with the case, and that's holding up the revenue coming in from those fines and forfeitures. So I need it as soon as possible.
So with regard to your question about does this come out of the public defender's budget or the probate court's budget, I think that the judge is saying is that this is an increase in his budget to deal with this problem, and that the solution that we had tried to use earlier wasn't really effective to process what his court has to process.
But Phil, at least for this year, could we not amend the juvenile court budget down by $7,000 since that slot hasn't been filled, rather than hitting the contingency
You
fund?
could temporarily, and then depending on what the committee comes back with, maybe they would come back and address it at that
I mean,
time.
her full salary is budgeted in there for the year, so.
As long as you make it, I wouldn't mind doing, well, I can't speak for everybody, I wouldn't mind doing that, as long as you make a notation to the fact that this is what we're doing, because I don't, 3 months down the road, I don't want to try to do everything all over again.
David, is that enough time from this person or 2 people? You said there's a backlog. Can they catch that up?
They will be. I've already talked to them, and honestly, they're eager. They're young attorneys, and they're eager to get the experience. So they've already started looking at, in anticipation of us being able to make this happen. They've started looking at the cases, and I think they'll think they'll be able to catch up and get the stuff backlog cleared up.
All right. I need a move to either approve or deny this request and then budget amendment.
So moved.
Second.
To accept. And you're second to that point.
Yes.
All right.
You did.
Yeah, you did get me going. All right, have a move and second. Any further discussion? None being, all in favor, let me saying aye. None opposed? All right.
All right. Thank you, guys. If y'all don't mind, I've got a little bit of practice. I appreciate y'all
You better hurry.
having us. Yes.
All right. Thank you, David.
Thank you all.
All right, that brings us down to item number 10 under action items under, hey, Phil,
Next, they'll be back.
okay. All right, brings us under action items, approved minutes. The number one on that thing, we struck it off, the call meeting executive session on April 21st. Deborah, what was it, what was these?
Well, Phil is correct that he does the minutes in that call meeting.
Correct.
But I always cover us, letting the public know that meeting was held and the reasons it's given.
Okay.
So it's always been in this way, but he wanted to change it.
Okay,
So it's
All right.
okay.
so that is executive session.
Whatever he says, he's the attorney.
So that brings us down to item 2, the regular board meeting on April 21st, 2016. I'm assuming you've all reviewed the minutes for that regular board meeting that we had on April 21st, 2016. I didn't move a second to approve those minutes. So moved.
Second.
Moving a second to approve. Any further discussion? None being, all that in favor, let us say aye. None opposed, thank you. That brings us down to item B under rezone request. We have no rezone requests for this month, so that's good. Well, that brings us down to item 11 under guests and comments. I'm going to open the floor up for, pardon? Bart's always got a question.
Yeah, that's what I do. Two easy ones. Do you know how many tires were collected during the amnesty program in April?
I have not got that, but they have not sent me that list yet.
Okay, I mean, I know they were getting a lot of tires turned in. I just want to be able to.
And we've been having, Marshall's been having a lot of issues with tires above and beyond that. So I don't know if we've got it broke down to actually come up with a tar drive or come up with all the tires that we've been coming up with. Because I'm afraid, my gut feeling is we're getting some dumping sites,
Yeah.
especially in the south end of the county. So,
We've had at least 4 locations where there's been like 6 tires, another one with 6 tires, one with 5 tires, and one with 9 tires that I've had to pick up. And that's past, or after the grace period.
Okay.
So they're still dumping.
Yeah.
but as for your question, does Keep Pickens Beautiful normally sends me that tally, but maybe I need to check.
Yeah, I didn't know whether they contacted you from, if Tony had contacted you with how many they had
No, sir, we
extra
didn't.
for the, because they were trying to keep a record, everybody would come in,
Yeah, it's four per family, I think. when they're
Yeah.
Trying to bring in.
and I know they were getting a lot. The other question, and I've asked before, is the splosh revenue, is it still looking good?
Faking it.
Fake, we still,
It's up slightly from last year, maybe 2 to 3%. It's
okay.
doing pretty well.
Because they say the economy's improving around here a little bit, and I'm hoping it shows up and that tax is a good way to determine if it is or not.
I got one question to ask Bart.
Yes, sir.
Does Keep Pickens Beautiful, do they have cleanup crews? Because the sheriff's department, they've got such a low manpower right now that they can't go out and clean these places up. County road, maybe they can, maybe they can't. But what I was asking is basically, does Keep Pickens Beautiful, if I call them and ask them if they could turn loose and maybe go pick up some of these locations, do y'all do that?
What we started this year on the board is a program, it's called Clean Sweep Pickens. And we have people send in a road that's really nasty, and when we try to get volunteers to go out, and we just started it this year, and the first time it was all board members. But we've had citizens that called up and said they would help us on the next one. We plan on doing it twice a year, we're in the baby process of getting a group together, Jim, to be able to go out and hit hot spots. You know, so right now, I'm gonna say, no, we can't help you, but maybe in the next couple months, we will be able to, that if you call up and say, hey, we got a real nasty spot, then we can get our crew together and go out there and hit it on a weekend.
I guess with the marshal and the deputy sheriffs, maybe they can find out who's doing all this illegal dumping. Maybe we can come up with our own staff here that's located over at the jail.
That's one good thing is the new company that's doing the maintenance on the roads, they're picking up.
They're cleaning up from the
Yeah.
state DOT.
Yeah.
Let the contract out. Yeah, they're cleaning up. Any other? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's 10 minutes till 6. We've got another function to go to here just in a little bit, but y'all have a great weekend. And hey, one other thing. We got to vote tomorrow. You can vote from 8 to 5 tomorrow, May the 24th. We need to get out and vote. People need to vote. Don't forget it, May the 24th. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good weekend.